Hi, I'm Kathy Heron Goodwin with the Garden Cat Cottage. Today I'm going to start making my pasta con Sarde for St. Joseph's Day. Right now I am chopping up celery very, very fine. I'm going to do sweet onions very fine as well. I will saute them in olive oil, then I will add the remainder of the ingredients and I'll give you the recipe. Let me get started here. Thank you. Okay. Here are the onions and the celery all diced up relatively fine. I'm going to saute them in olive oil till they're translucent and very soft. Then I'll begin adding my other ingredients. Hi, here's the recipe for pasta con Sarde for St. Joseph's Day. This is a special family recipe. As I was saying earlier, you have one stalk of celery, whole stalk, chop it up very, very fine. I usually use about 2 sweet onions, diced up fine, sauteed together in olive oil till they're very, very transparent, almost till they're mush. Next, I'll add a can of crushed tomatoes. This is a 28-ounce can. Then you'll need a can of just regular old tomato sauce. That's a 28-ounce can. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. You'll add 1 can of pasta con Sarde. I get this from Ronnie Maceo at Maceo's Italian Spice and Tea Company. They're in Galveston. It's a wonderful place. Anything I ever need, no matter how weird it is or unusual an ingredient, I can always find it at Ronnie's. Fantastic. A1 best market in the whole wide world. Next, once you get all your seasoned things together, let it sit for a little bit on the stove simmering. Then you'll add sugar. I know that's a strange ingredient to go with pasta sauce. You hear usually a tablespoon. But you're going to probably add quite a bit, probably about 1/4 a cup of sugar to this. This sauce is kind of a sweet sauce. The pasta con Sarde for St. Joseph's Day, as you can see I'm Italian, there goes the hands. St. Joseph's Day always falls during Lent. Lent is meatless, so it's a meatless Friday this year. So that's why we use the con Sarde, which is just a fish product. And you've got your pure vegetarians that fish has a face, they won't eat it. And you've got your ones that, okay, we need protein, we need this. The fish has got it. So that's that. But it's a wonderful flavor. Some people freak out thinking, because the pasta con Sarde, it's like pureed sardines and fennel and raisins and a little bit of, I think, tomato. What else is in here? Onions. But it's got a fantastic flavor. It's like nothing you've ever had before. I grew up with it, so I've always been very, very used to it. It's a very mellow, wonderful flavor. If you like the taste of real fennel and a sweetness, you're going to love this. It's absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Okay, this is my onion and celery cooked down. As you can see, it was quite a bit that I chopped up, so it's cooked down to probably 1/3 of what it was. Very soft, just the onion, the celery, and the olive oil. Right now I'm going to add my crushed red tomatoes. Stir that all in here. I'll do my tomato sauce. I will have the written recipe put up here at the end of this video, and also you can go to my blog, The Garden Cat Cottage. .blogspot.com, where I usually have a good copy and photos of everything I make on here. Okay, here we go. Tomato sauce. Alrighty. And I did forget one thing. I need to add a can of tomato paste, so I'll have to run to the pantry and get that. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and add my pasta con Sarde in here. So that you kind of get a little bit of a look at this. It's got a lot of olive oil to it, the different fennel, the spices. It's absolutely fantastic. It has a fantastic smell, just that sweet fennel. Reminds me so much of when I was a kid. I treasure those memories. The way life is nowadays, you work so much, you don't have time with family, and a lot of the old traditions have died out. That's what I miss the most. I don't have children, and if I did, what kind of family history would we really be able to offer them anymore? All the old folks with the stories and the traditions are all gone now. It's hard. Anyway, here's my pasta con Sarde. I'm going to go ahead and stir that in there. I'm going to get a can of tomato paste, mix that in, and put this back on the stove. Hi. Okay, as I kind of tweaked my recipe a little bit, I went ahead and I added 2 1/3 cups of sugar to finally get the sweetness that I was looking for. It's really up to your own taste. So like I said, I mean, we're used to it being a little bit sweet, not super syrupy sweet, but a little bit sweet. Also, I decided, because I got a pretty good deal on some fresh, beautiful Italian flat leaf parsley, that I was going to go ahead and add some of that. So I've diced it. I've got it on my cutting board over here. I'm going to add that, but I'm going to show you exactly how thick this pasta gravy is. You follow me over here. I'm sticking the spoon in the pot, and it sticks straight up. Now that's thick. I'm going to go ahead and add my parsley here. And that's really the last of the ingredients. I'm just going to let it simmer from now on. You get all this stirred in here. The particular pasta that I like to use with pasta con le sarde, I use percatelli. It's kind of a thicker spaghetti, but it's hollow in the center. It seems to cling better to the pasta sauce. Just a preference. It's something a little bit different. You might have not heard of it before. That's another little item that you can get over at Macio's Autumn Spice and Tea Company. Like I said, any kind of wonderful ingredient, no matter how weird that it is, I can always find it there, or Ronnie can get it for me. I like to experiment with all types of different cuisines, so you never know. I might need something crazy like sumac, which is very, an ingredient used quite widely with Mediterranean type dishes. Anyway, all there is left to do is let it cook. Hi. You'll hear me talk about a lot about my family traditions and things like that. St.Josephs Day is my family patron saint. Most of my relatives have all passed away, and everybody's so far apart nowadays, we're not here together to celebrate it like we used to be. It was nothing to have 250 people there at the house, big wood fires with big pots of spaghetti gravy cooking outside. That was the man's job to stir it. The women were in the house cooking. I can remember I would, even when I lived away, I would fly home. I came home one year and I baked 9 hours a day for 13 days just to try to get the altar ready, full of baked goods. That was one of the last gifts I could really give my aunt. And I'm so proud of myself that I did that. And by doing that, I got to spend that time with her. I've got some wonderful photographs, fantastic memories, and beautiful recipes for Italian cookies. Now, I live in the real world, so unfortunately, I'm not independently wealthy, and I have to work the old 8 to 5 job. So when I get home at night, I'm tired. I have house to keep, laundry to do, all that kinds of good stuff. So this year, I just know in my schedule I do not have the time to bake homemade Italian cookies with everything else going on. So Ronnie Macio comes through once again. You've got to love Ronnie. Absolutely wonderful. So Macio's Island Spice and Tea Company. I've got some fantastic almond biscotti for my dessert tray. Also, this is Italian Easter cake. It's got that fancy little Italian sugar on top and candied fruits in it. It's just wonderful. So I'll make a dessert tray with this and some ricotta cheese and fruit and different things like that. Most likely, because it's only going to be my husband and myself for my little dinner, I'll have plenty of this left over, and then I'll make a bread pudding with it. Any of my leftover panettone from the holidays, I always make a really fantastic bread pudding. So that'll be another recipe for me to include at another time. So that's going to be dessert here. Fruit, cookies, and Easter cake. Mommy's baby likes to cook with Mommy. She's a good girl. Where's a good girl? You're making pasta con le sarde? We are? You're making pasta con le sarde? Oh, that's my baby. That's my baby, my little Italian dog. Mwah! Mwah!